Yes, I am ElectroPig Vön Fokkengrüüven. I started a little thing called Overgrow the World a few years ago, and I'm trying to repeal cannabis prohibition because I am sick and tired of people begging to legalize what has been legalized for a century already. Just because it's illegal, you know, doesn't necessarily mean it's not legalized, which is why I printed off this one here.
Urban Dictionary.
Yeah. Well, there was no description of what legalize really meant to real people. And most people are under the mistaken impression that to legalize something means that you are automatically free. But the problem is, what legalization actually is the creation of words on pieces of paper which describe and denote and reduce and restrict and eliminate your rights. So if you want it legal, well, congratulations, we've already got that. So you don't have to do anything. It's already legalized. What most people want is they want their freedom back. And the best way to do that is to eliminate the statutes entirely. Repeal the statutes, wipe them out, kill them dead. Then you can put a plant in your own backyard. You can plant a seed if you feel the need. If you have a medical requirement, no big deal. You will actually be free again. You will not be legal like so many people believe is a good thing. There's a reason why the words legal and free exist. They don't mean the same thing, despite what politicians and lawyers tell you. Legal means somebody wrote something to tell you how to live. Free means there are no pieces of paper, there are no words on those no pieces of paper. And you're just a regular, normal human being who can make your own decisions. And that's what Overgrow the World is all about. Basically, the idea here, the idea of the global public plantings came out because some people have some good seeds, and it seemed to me to be a waste to put them on like Parliament Hill or, you know, in front of City Hall, because you know they're going to be cut down. If they're going to be cut down right away anyways, you might as well use inexpensive hemp seed. The problem is, in order to get inexpensive hemp seed in Canada, it's twice as much as to get the same thing shipped in from Europe. So you'll spend half as much to get twice as much seed out of Europe as you will to get it in Canada, because they have to kill the Canada by statute, which is another thing that I think is ridiculous. You repeal cannabis prohibition, and they won't have any of the you must murder your plants statutes. It'll all be gone. You want to run 2 feet of hemp by the side of the house? You know, oh, that's perfect. South side of the house, as the summer gets hotter, the plants get taller, they create more shade, they cut your air conditioning costs. Now, if you were to get those 20-foot tall Australian sativas growing, a couple of feet thick, then you'd get the shade, you'd save on your air conditioning costs. At the end of the season, you've got a buttload of bud and a whole bunch of seeds. And you're prepared for next year as well. Might piss off a few neighbors, but that's only going to last for a month or so anyways. The taller they get, the higher the smell is going to be released, right? I've always had this dream of having 2 big gigantic indica bushes, one on each side of the front sidewalk. So as the migrant workers from Mexico and the Caribbean come by, they'll be going, oh yeah, man. I think that would be absolutely priceless.
I'm in favor of legalizing it. Tax and regulating.
Legalization's word is like around a lot now with Justin Trudeau saying he's going to legalize.
Yeah.
What did you think when he came out and said that?
Well, what I did is I tried through several methods to actually get in touch with him. Unfortunately, his people do not want the people to speak to him. They won't give him messages to say, this is what I'd like to talk to him about. If he has 5 or 10 minutes free, have him give me a call, have him respond to my email. Form letters from one politician are the same as form letters from any other politician. They don't mean a damn thing. They were prepared 6 months or 6 years or six centuries ago. It doesn't mean anything. if you don't actually speak to the actual, honest-to-God, living, breathing human being, it's just a piece of paper. It doesn't mean anything. And if they don't hear your voice, they're not going to understand what you're talking about. They're not going to understand that you're serious if they don't look into your eyes. So I'm not worried so much about Justin. I'm looking for one of the third parties at this point. Anyone other than Emperor Harperius Mandatorius Minimus, we got to get rid of that guy. He is like herpes running rampant through a Nevada whorehouse, and it must be fixed. I call it as I see it.
Ah, yes.
What are these coins here?
Actually, they're nothing more than 99.9% investment-grade bullion copper. But it has a design that most of us would appreciate. These ones are still available. These ones here, the mint no longer exists. There will never be more of these. That's it. When these ones are gone, they're gone. These ones here, silvershieldcollection.com if I'm not mistaken. You can find them in Canada at Silver Gold Bull. And I would highly recommend that while you're there, if you want to get one or two of these, get a few ounces of silver as well. They have these in silver, the same quality and as well as a proof. Absolutely beautiful design. And any Canadian, especially a Canadian who's ever smoked a joint in their life, they're going to love that one.
And what about for getting more information? Do you have any websites?
Just Google Overgrow the World. And we're on Faceberia still, and that's pretty much it. That's about the best place. You can Google ElectroPig or search for ElectroPig on Twitter, and that's about it. Hopefully one of these days I'll get the website back. It's just a question of having enough people who understand that they want their freedom back, and they're willing to support the people who say, no, let's repeal it, let's end the problem, rather than so many people who like to say the best way to end the problem is to leave the problem alone and then write more pieces of paper to add on top of the problem, and then we can tweak a little bit in this paper and a little bit in this paper and then add some more papers on top. Well, you end up with a stack of paper like this and you're still not free. So the best way to end the problem is to actually end the problem. What Harper is doing to medical cannabis patients right now is the most disgusting, despicable, deplorable, inhuman thing that any douchebag politician could possibly do. And by saying that, I apologize profusely to all douchebags. I did not mean to lump Emperor Harperius Mandatorius Minimus in with general douchebaggery. He needs to be kicked out of office. If we had any sense, we would have never let him get back in there.
Yeah.
But 27% is a majority in Canada now. So we're stuck with him until he decides to call another fraudulent election when he thinks he's going to win. I think about this guy, and I have absolutely no trouble repressing my overwhelming excitement.